Hey, it's Tom's coming with the idea I mentioned coming up in an Animal Crossing video a few weeks ago. So this is basically a sightseeing tour through Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. The game is so absolutely gorgeous. There's so many amazing viewpoints to see. And I would have preferred to have done this with actual in-game footage, but since I don't have a capture card, I wouldn't have been able to get it in proper quality, so instead I'm just going to be having screenshots and talking about the screenshots, which isn't as good, but it's the best that I can do for now. So I'm going to go through the areas in order from my favorite viewpoints, scenic areas, etc. So the first one is Outlook Park from Colony 9. So this one I really like. It's just a really nice simple park with a great view of the colony out there. And favorite time of day to see it in, I took this in just daytime because it looks nice with the shade from the trees during the daytime. Also looks pretty nice at sunset, but my favorite time of day for this area, for this viewpoint, is for just regular daytime. And I guess there's not really much to say about Outlook Park. There's not a lot here or anything. Just a really nice view of the colony. So next, there's no real good viewpoints that I like in Tephra Cave, so going over to the Bionisleg and Guar Plain, or Gower Plain, I can never remember how it's supposed to be pronounced. So you'd expect the opening view of Gower Plain to be my favorite viewpoint, but actually I prefer this one here from looking down at the opening area, because it just makes the field look so much wider and larger than looking up at it. Looking down at it is, you can see a lot more looking down than you can looking up at it. Of course, I also have a favorite viewpoint that I think is looking down at it also. I have a few shots from Gower Plain to go over, well, Bionisleg in general. So not a lot that I can think of to say about this one, just really gorgeous big plain, though it's so tiny compared to the plains in Xenoblade X2 and Breath of the Wild now. Still pretty big though. Next, another shot from the Bionisleg. This one from the Believer's Paradise. So this was really amazing view out of the whole leg, or almost the whole leg. So you can see the, I'm not sure what those things are, the rock spires or whatever that overlook everything. You can see them a lot better here than from looking up at them in the opening area. And the way they made realistically reflective water is just so impressive for Definitive Edition. Kind of makes it hard to look at anything else except for Paper Mario that also uses that same technique, I believe. So yeah, going back to any other games before this with water that doesn't look like this is just so hard now. But yeah, just another really amazing view. I can't really think of too much to say about these because I'm not used to doing this kind of video, but just everything in this game is so gorgeous. So next one is the view of Colony 9 from Colony 6. So there's not like a lot to see here, but just the idea that they put that in there so you could see Colony 9 from Colony 6. Back on the Wii, that was an incredibly impressive thing to do. And it's still just really interesting. Like, they easily could have just covered it by clouds, but instead they actually let you see the colony down there. And the more you zoom in, the more detail you can see of it. You can actually make out the big cannon things and just the general shape of everything when you zoom in on a screenshot of it. I guess I shouldn't say impressive so much as just creative, really. But next one wouldn't be a sightseeing tour without mentioning Satoru Marsh at least once. So there's no particular area of Satoru Marsh that has a great viewpoint. So I just took this one nearby the Silent Obelisk, I believe. Which is, yeah, I think this was the Silent Obelisk. So, just the trees in general and everything around Satoru Marsh is beautiful. So, no specific area that I could really think of that has the best view of it. Just the whole area overall. And of course, Satoru Marsh has to be taken at night. During the day, it's pretty boring looking. And also at night, I prefer Makhana Forest at night. While in some areas, for this shot of Mocha Falls, I feel like it looks better at night. Just really amazing series of waterfalls. I would like to do something with waterfalls like that on my Animal Crossing Island, but I have so little space and no room for an elaborate waterfall thing. I can't really think of much to say about this, just amazing waterfalls and the water techniques that they use to make the water actually reflective just makes this even more amazing. Water areas in Definitive Edition are especially amazing compared to the original because of the new water techniques. Another from Makhana Forest, the Shining Pool, or no, wait, I think that was the one in Satoru Marsh. Actually, Sparkling Pool. I can't remember the name of this exact landmark, which is weird because it's one of my favorite landmarks in the entire game. So, yeah, I'm just having a blank on what the name of this is, but this is definitely one of my favorite locations in the entire game. Because again, the water, just amazing looking water, the waterfalls, the sunlight coming down and all the trees there. This is just one of the most perfectly designed areas, well, landmarks. Overall, I like the Bionisleg and Earthsea more than Makhana Forest, but there's specific spots in Makhana Forest that are just some of my favorites. And this is definitely one of my favorite places in the whole game. Also, I was considering having the Glow Moss Cave from the Ether Mines in here, but forgot about that one. So, just skipped over that. And one more of Makhana Forest. I was actually going to have a few more of Makhana Forest, but this video is already running pretty long, and I'm going to have to make a second half already. So adding even more screenshots would have made it just go way too long. So the other areas I would have shown would have been the X watering hole with the big ether crystal there shining on it at night, because that reflecting on the water is just amazing. And then really just any area while it's raining, but I could not get Mocha Forest while it was raining after a bunch of resetting, so I just gave up on that. But anyway, this area, this spot of Mocha Forest looks really nice because of the lack of tree cover, so the light shining down just looks great there, and also the snowy mountains of Valak Mountain in the background. So this was near the pod landing site, this one was taken. And sorry if this is not super entertaining, I just wanted to rant about my favorite places in Xenoblade Definitive Edition because the game is just so amazing looking. And it probably would have been a lot more interesting if I had done this with actual gameplay, but like I said, not able to do it justice by doing that. So anyway, see you next time, and play Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch, which released May 29th.